Alright guys, welcome back. I know it's been a very long time since we've posted videos. Me, Jack, and Henry are working on that. It's been really tough. We all have jobs and I don't know, just a lot of life stuff. It's been interesting. But today I'll be doing a little devotion I made. This is not something I've done for a long time. It's actually only been like 3 weeks. It's kind of weird getting used to talking to this when I'm used to kind of fidgeting around everywhere. But I asked you guys what you wanted to do. I was gonna do one either on Colossians or on Matthew 7:7, and I had over 100 people say Matthew 7:7. So instead of just doing the whole thing, I'm just going to break it up. But Matthew 7:7 is it's direct words from Jesus during one of his famous sermons from the Sermon on the Mount. And I'll just read it and then I'll just jump into it. Matthew 7:7 says, "Ask and it will be given to you, seek and you will find, knock and it will be open to you." I'll even go on a little bit. Verse 8 says, "For everyone who asks receives, and the one who seeks finds, and to one who knocks it will open." And I think I'll just leave it at that. Sorry to who's ever watching this. I keep cutting it. I get nervous and start fumbling my words. But during this, I'm going to break this up into 3 parts. Today we're going to be talking about just the ask and it will be given to you. I've heard this verse for years, since I was very little, and I was always confused about it. Like, I put it to memory, like, oh, asking will be given to you, seeking you will find, knocking the door will be open to you, but I never thought about it. So I think these devotions will be more of just my thinking on things, and I would love for you guys to reply back so I can think harder and hopefully more correctly. So yeah, I guess I'll just go into it. One of the main things that I thought of right away is, how should we ask? Like, asking will be given to you. Well, how should I ask? And I do believe it's through prayer. One major thing that came to mind almost instantly during this, when I was thinking of how I should ask, was a story with Jesus. And I'll go find it. It's actually in Matthew as well. What is it? It's like Matthew 26. Yes. Oh, I found it. Awesome. It's Matthew 26, verse 40. And it's when Jesus is in the garden praying to his Father in heaven before he gets crucified. And this is always amazed me. Verse 40 says, this is 39. "And going a little farther, he fell on his face and prayed, saying, 'My Father, if it is possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as you will.'" And just that last bit, not as I will, but as you will. I think that is a big indication on, in a way, how we should ask. And this is not the only time it talks about this. But, sorry, I'm just kind of fumbling around in my notes. But just the Jesus going to God before being crucified and ending it saying, "Not as I will, but you will." Jesus was fully man and fully God. Yet he's praying to his Father, and he ends it saying, "Not as I will, but as you will." Sorry, I'm back. I did another bad cut. I believe that we need to ask in humility. Ask realizing that oftentimes, most times, 99% of the times, if we are not having our hearts focused on God, what we want is not what we should have. So Jesus just saying to his Father, "As you will, not as I will," I believe that's in a way how we should also approach God. Just humble ourselves, You know what I mean? Like, Lord, the school year's coming up. I had a struggle with grades, right? Just help me get through the school year with good grades. Not as I will, but as you will. And I do believe that, like, the Lord will bless me through that in certain ways. I don't think my year will be easy, but I also think that me being able to push through the year better than I have in past years will also help me reach out to younger kids who are like, yo, Caleb, I love to do sports, like, but I don't do good in school. I struggle in school. And I could be like, dude, same. But I asked the Lord, I humbled myself, and I realized, Lord, I'm not good at school. Can you please help me? Like, I'm not going to try to do this on my own anymore. Can you please help me? And he may answer that by saying yes, and then giving me a tutor. Like, I don't think that when you ask, you will receive the answer you want to receive. I believe you receive the answer God knows you need. And I also realize that a no from God can be better than any yes on this world. So ask and you will receive is so important, but we need to realize we will receive what the Lord wants us to receive. Like, we can't be like, God's right here, we're right here. We can be like, I'm asking, and God needs to give me everything. We need to be down here and ask, and God's already up here. He already has everything. So he's giving us stuff. We're not on the same playing field saying, Lord, can you hand me that right now? It's like, no, Lord, I'm asking you, and you need to believe he'll answer. You need to trust his process. When I was younger, I always taught that you'll have 3 answers from the Lord: yes, no, and wait. But you also need to be able to listen to those. Like, I could ask the Lord for help in school, and I could feel like, I didn't get an answer. All right, well, I guess I'm a fail. But during, like, the time of prayer, I have grown-ups coming up to me and being like, yo, Caleb, I can help you with school. Like, I feel like that's the Lord. You're like, here's your answer. You said you needed help. Here's help. You know what I mean? Another story came to mind, which it's shocking. I didn't read my Bible for a long time, but it's just these little things I learned when I was younger that are just like clicking now. I've had people just talk to me saying like, I feel insignificant. Sorry, big word for me. Like, I don't feel like God will hear me. In a passage in Luke 12:6-7. Sorry again. I'm gonna re-say the verse. I was messing up a ton. This verse is from Luke 12:6-7. It says, "Are not 5 sparrows sold for 2 pennies? Not one of them is forgotten before God. Why, even the hairs of your head are all numbered. Fear not, you are more of value than many sparrows." So for people who have said, Caleb, I feel small, I feel not important, you say, ask, it'll be given to you. But I ask, and I don't think God even hears me. God is aware of the many sparrows. He's aware of the hairs on your head. And, like, even just we're made in God's image. If God cares for the little sparrows, how much more will he care for someone in your image? So I say to the people that are scared or feel like, I'm not going to ask because I don't think he'll hear me, just cry out. Cry out to God. He will hear you. It took me a long time to realize that. I always got in the habit of just praying out of habit. Yeah, I wouldn't even call it prayer. I'd call it a loose conversation. It wasn't direct. It wasn't meaningful. But I believe if you humbly pray to God, and even just emotionally pray to God, like with your anger, sadness, joy, give that all to God when you're asking. Like, oftentimes I'll ask my parents for things with like hidden intention. Sometimes they realize, sometimes they don't. But that's just me deceiving my parents. But you can't deceive God. So when you ask, give it all to him. He already knows, but he wants to listen. He wants to listen. And he wants to answer. and he will answer. He promised us he will answer. Ask and it will be given to you. I think that is really, really important. Another thing, I think that for those who follow Christ, we are told to be more like Christ. I believe that if we go day by day, hour by hour, minute by minute, doing that, which we will all fail all the time, but if our hearts desire to follow Christ, I believe what we ask will be towards that desire. So if I'm saying one thing, but my heart is towards a sin, what I really want will be towards that sin. But if I'm aware of my sin, but my heart and everything I want desires to be with God, what I want in my head, what I ask for will be different. So I feel like asking will be given to you. It also matters on where your heart is. Like am I chasing the world or am I chasing God? And I do believe that if you are purposefully chasing God, not by yourself, but also with others, your heart's desires, what you ask for, will be different. It will be changed to that. So, like as a kid, I would always ask for like worldly possessions. I would often covet what my neighbor had, which is a sin. I would always ask for like, oh, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want what he has, I want what he has. But I am slowly learning with tons of error that who was it? It was David's son? Sorry, I just thought of something else. Was it Saul? I'm gonna just use my phone. Let me cook. Okay, yeah, it was Solomon. Sorry. Solomon was a king, and instead of the Lord told him he could have whatever he wanted. And instead of asking for women, money, power, he simply asked for wisdom. Sorry. And that kind of just, that just struck me right now. If one person asked the Lord, I'll need this brand new car. I want this brand new car. And another man asks for, Lord, give me wisdom so I can pick out a vehicle. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know that the Lord will give you wisdom. The Lord will give you peace. The Lord will show you love. Those are things promised to you. So when you go to ask, I think you need to take captive of your thoughts. I think oftentimes I will just blindly ask the Lord for things without actually thinking through. Sorry, I had to take a sip of water. My throat's getting really dry. I feel like you can take captive of your thoughts. I'm not really sure what I just said in the last clip. But I would blindly ask the Lord for things. I would just be like, Lord, help me through this day. Amen, thank you. And the thing is, oftentimes, that day went well. Like my quick prayer, the Lord helped me get through that day. The Lord helped me get my homework done. I finished practice without dying, which is a plus. Like it's the small things that I pray for very quickly that the Lord answers all the time. And I don't ever give credit to him. So how much more if we're intentional? You know what I mean? If the Lord has helped me to get to this point where I am today with the little quick prayers that I blindly asked him, how much more if I went in my room alone, I just poured my heart out to God and I just asked him, just like simply, sorry, it's like simply, Lord, help me through this day, help me reach one person, Lord, help me with school, Lord, I have this gigantic like need in my life, that I'm not sure I can fill. Please fill it for me. And I believe the Lord will fill that with what you need, not with what you want. And it goes back to what I said a little bit ago. A no from the Lord can oftentimes be better than any yes given in the world. So when you ask, you will receive. But you need to realize that whatever you receive is for the best for you. It's for, it's in God's will. And it is to glorify God. And it is to eventually expand his kingdom. Because everything that's going on now will eventually lead to Jesus coming back. So I would rather me ask and the Lord say no, and that no is me receiving an answer. And that no eventually, I think I'm dying. And that no eventually, over time, changing what I wanted. So then I realized that, Lord, what I asked for a few months ago, thank you for saying no. Thank you for saying no and giving me an answer. I'm back again. I had a coughing spree. It's getting really bad. But yeah, I believe that a no from God over here will impact me better over here. I know that will happen because wow, God's plan is greater than anything I could think of, anything I could want, because God has it all under control. So ask and it will be given to you. It will be given to you. But you need to trust that. You know what I mean? Asking will be given to you. Be like, all right, then I can ask for whatever I want. No. Because what will be given to you is a no from God. But ask in humility. Jesus prayed to his Father, not my will, but yours be done. That sets an example for us. Jesus said, not my will, but yours be done. So why would us humans who are imperfect have better will than what Jesus had, and he was perfect? And God's answer to Jesus in that moment was a no. Like, I think that'll be my main takeaway from all this. I'm not even sure what I yapped about, but my biggest takeaway from the beginning of Matthew 7, ask and it will be given to you, is that a no from God can be better than any yes in this world. Call that good. I need to get more water. Yeah. I need to stop swallowing my coughs also. But yeah, I hope this reaches someone. I love you guys. I love making videos. I love running. Our cross-country season starts really, really soon. So, more videos will be coming out. Please go check out our merch. If we get, let me see. If we get 10 people to confirm that they'll buy merch, we will drop it 50% for a few months by August 19th when cross country starts. So if we get 10 people before August 19th, we will drop our prices so you guys can get guaranteed cheap merch. But yeah, that's all. I gotta go. I love you guys. Goodbye.